Hi, I'm Reba Hervis, Artistic Director at Overshadowed Theatrical Productions. Welcome to this episode of From the Wings. I was talking to my comrade, Rebecca Leland, last night, actually after one of the performances of Beauty and the Beast. And she started asking me a few questions about our upcoming play that I have written called Tuesday Morning, #Never Forget. And we started thinking maybe she should just ask me here in an episode in case there are things that you might be interested in as well.
So I cannot lie, every single time we have talked about this production, I have actually gotten goosebumps. So what is the content about? What is the overall arcing story that you're going to share?
Well, the overall story is about the heroes of 9/11. I mean, that's just it in a nutshell. When I first got the inspiration for writing this story, I was very moved during the whole aftermath of 9/11, thinking about Todd and Lisa Beamer's story. You may be familiar. He's the one who kind of coined the phrase, "let's roll," after one of the planes went down on that fateful day. And she wrote a book about their life and kind of their love story and what kind of man he was and where they went, and then her children and lots of things like that. And I just thought it was a very inspirational book. So when I decided that I felt like we should write this story about Tuesday morning, I actually wanted to call it Let's Roll. I didn't steal from her book, so before you guys all turn me in for copyright violation, I didn't do that. But there are a lot of things that are just factual that are out in the news today about them, and so I kind of took those things and just added a little bit of their story so that we know that, hey, these are Christians. These are Christians who actually sat and thought, why God? Where is God in this tragedy? And then their faith journey to get back.
So one really cool thing about Overshadowed is they do very well-known productions. Right now we're in the middle of Beauty and the Beast, but something that you are well-known for is your original plays and the takeaways that people get from that. What is a takeaway that you want people to get out of this production? What is something that's coming through your writings?
Well, there's actually two things. The first one that really hit me really hard the last couple of weeks when I've been thinking about it again, and that is that after 9/11, we were a country of Christians that fell on our knees and said, we were all praying, right? If my people who humble themselves and call on our name, that God will heal our land. And I know that verse is taken a little out of context, but I know we were claiming it, right? We were a united country that lived on that faith. And so takeaway number one is, did evil actually win because we're not that way anymore? Because we are actually a country that is very divided right now. We fight about everything. Takeaway number two is that Christians also struggle with why God. God is a good God. He's a just God. But the world is an evil place. And so there are things that happen that are bad sometimes. And so that is the takeaway number two, is how do we as Christians deal with who God is in the face of tragedy?
Wow. So it's going to be a powerful production. And now that our audience wants to be a part of it, how can they audition for this amazing piece?
So you can go to Overshadowed's website, overshadowed.org, and the information about the auditions is up there. If I had my dream show, I would want 14 men and 10 women, because the story is told we have a lot of different heroes, but with the hero story is a lot of other people who have to support it. And so everybody is kind of going to be in all the scenes as everyman. Please come on out. There is a part for you.
Are you able to read us a little something from your play?
Thank you for asking. So the story starts with the reporter who kind of ties everything together. And so the reporter starts and he says this: for Americans and people watching around the world, September 11th, 2001 is a day that will never be forgotten. 3 hours. 3 hours is all it took to reduce New York's tallest buildings to rubble. 102 minutes is the time from the first crash into the North Tower to the second crash into the South Tower, to the collapse of the South Tower, to the collapse of the North Tower. During this time, part of the Pentagon caught on fire and partially collapsed. thousands of people who started the day with hopes and dreams were now dead or injured, and all of us who watched from a distance were in shock. Perhaps some of us are still in shock.
So if you are someone who have been wanting to be a part of a production that is going to be impactful to all who see it, come out and audition. And if you want to be someone who impacts people for the Lord, because it's going to be a message that really impacts people, not just thinking through what happened, but also how God used it and how he can continue to work, come out on audition for this piece. Super excited. Thank you so much for sharing.
Go to overshadowed.org to find all the audition information. We are auditioning on July the 30th. So contact me. If you need to send in a video audition, you can do that.
And with that, it's just me
and me
talking to you from the wings.